There hasn't been another 9/11, has there? Maybe it's because we're out there killing people.
Hello?
They can remotely take control of your car to make you drive off a bridge,
What?
into a tree,
What?
to make you kill yourself.
What?
And make it look like an accident.
Does the CIA make people disappear? A CIA spy reveals. Good morning, USA.
Hey, listen through
I got
our
a
phones
feeling that
and
it's gonna
laptop
be a
cameras.
wonderful day.
Yes, listen through our phones and laptop cameras. Yes, I hate to say it. They can take over your smart television and turn the speaker into a microphone so that they can listen to what's being said in the room even when the TV is turned off.
I mean, we knew that, though. We knew that.
Hello, I'm John Kiriakou. I'm a former CIA counterterrorism officer and former senior investigator for the U.S. Senate
Yeah, we knew
Committee
this.
on Foreign
I'm not gonna
Relations.
lie.
And I'm here today to answer questions from the Honesty Box.
I would say I'm blowing back and stuff like that, but we knew that, though. The only thing is, like, are they choosing you type today? They always probably chose you at some point, but are they choosing you right now? That's always the thing.
The first one is, what did the CIA actually do?
Fair.
There are several answers to that question. What the CIA is supposed to do, what it is legally tasked with doing, is very simply to recruit spies, to steal secrets, and then to analyze those secrets to give the president and other senior policymakers the best information with which they can make policy.
Yeah.
Now, in
yeah, that's
real
what I'm
life.
saying. Yeah, like, so for the common civilian who's just sitting here thinking all this extra shit, don't get me wrong, they probably are actually paying attention, but it's not the highest eye. Like, you're not the most important to the fucking CIA, dog. Mel with the 6 months, the prime 6 months. Appreciate those, Mel.
It's not that simple.
And
The
King Z
CIA
with the
does
8 months.
Whatever the president tells it to do. That could be to overthrow foreign governments. It could be to implement covert action programs, to influence the foreign media, to even kill people. It just depends on who the president is and what
Baseball
policy he wants to implement.
So glad I don't live in the
What
U.S.
skills?
You think you safe? This nigga think he's safe? Cause you don't live over here, boy? You high? Nigga, they probably listening to your ass more than us. This nigga just broke down what the CIA do, and you think that they said, oh, shit, the nigga ain't over here no more. He left Alabama. Rats. You think this is a swiper no swiping type thing? You crazy?
Make a good agent. You might be surprised by the answer, actually. The CIA, when it recruits spies, when it recruits operations officers, doesn't necessarily look for the big buff guy who works out every day or 6 days a week. They look for people who have sociopathic tendencies, not sociopaths.
Gotta be a little crazy.
Sociopaths are impossible to control because they have no conscience. They blow right through a polygraph exam, but they won't take orders. People who have sociopathic tendencies do react to a polygraph. They do experience regret or remorse. They will respond to directives and orders.
Type shit.
I'll give you an example. When I first was recruited by the CIA, I was asked in a group of new hires what we would do if we got a cable from CIA headquarters ordering us to collect information on the Indonesian economy. You recruit the Indonesian economic secretary, you make him your best friend, you spend money on him, your wives become friends, you vacation together, but you learn that he is just not recruitable.
Okay.
So what do? Well, one of my colleagues said, you double down, work the case another 6 months, and hope for the best. A second colleague said, maybe you work it through your wives, maybe your wife can convince his wife to give you the information.
Type shit.
I raised my hand and I said, you break into the Indonesian embassy and you steal it. And the instructor said, that's exactly what you do.
I'm about to say, okay.
That's a sociopathic tendency.
Cool.
What's the coolest piece of spy tech you ever got to use?
Good question.
You know, there's kind of a dirty little secret.
He ain't gonna tell us the actual answer, though. That's the unfortunate part. Like they got some bullshit. I'm telling you now, anything that was released I'm convinced we probably had that bitch 20 years ago, dog. Like
about spy tech.
Like they ain't gonna tell you.
95% of it is purchased from Amazon.com. Seriously. Because it is cheaper and it is quicker just to go online and buy it and then use it operationally than it is to invent it from scratch. The coolest piece of spy tech that I ever used was, it was a leather briefcase. I just went into the local marketplace in Pakistan and bought it. I think it cost the equivalent of like $10. And over the course of 3 days, one of our technical officers pulled the threads out of it, installed a wire all the way around the briefcase, which could act as a listening device, and then packed the area around the wire with these little teeny tiny batteries that I had never seen before. And then he sewed the whole thing closed again. So I walked into a meeting with my little briefcase. The bad guy took the briefcase from me, opened it up, looked through it. It didn't have anything in it because it was all sewn into the lining.
Right.
And we sat there and had the meeting while my colleagues half a mile away were able to listen to the entire thing.
Fuck.
It was very cool. Does the CIA listen through our
W spy, I ain't gonna lie.
Our phones and laptop cameras?
This is one of those videos that I kind of just have to like shut up and listen to what the fuck he says and just have to deal with the fact that hey buddy, you with the Face ID, you with the Face ID, the same password to 10 websites, passcode to five devices. Yeah, buddy, they on to your shit. That's why I don't get fear from these kind of videos because they wanted any of us found, chat. They wanted to drop a Rico on any of us, chat. It's already there. There's no hiding. like there's no hiding. He's talking about like significant shit that would regard the president, not little old us, man.
There was a dramatic leak in 2017 that the CIA came to call the Vault 7 disclosures. Gigabytes worth of documents leaked by a CIA technology engineer.
They're spying on me? They can't see me. 1-0, nigga. 1-0, nigga. 1-0. They can't see me, nigga. The fuck? My time is now, nigga.
Was that the CIA can intercept anything from anyone.
They can hear me. That's fine. Can't see me.
Number two, they can remotely take control of your car through the car's embedded computer. To do what? To make you drive off a bridge.
What?
Into a tree.
What?
To make you kill yourself.
What?
And make it look like an accident. They can take over your smart television and turn the speaker into a microphone so that they can listen to what's being said in the room even when the TV is turned off. God knows what else that they can do that hasn't been leaked. Are hitmen real? Yes. At the National Security Council,
one thing I would ask is, what is the biggest lie? What is something that people say the CIA can do and you actually can't, but because you're the CIA, no one's gonna believe you? And that would be a question. Being said, are hitmen real, nigga? Duh.
There is a committee that meets every Tuesday morning at 9 o'clock to draw up something called the kill list. They sit around a table and they make a list.
The biggest lie is that they spy on everybody. Yeah, I'm about to say,
and then
I want to know what is the biggest misconception of the CIA that an agent would swear by that we're not going to believe because we wouldn't trust it, but it's on some shit bro, we actually don't give a fuck about you or some shit like that. I'm curious what he would say.
CIA, which has a dedicated unit, I won't tell you the name, but it has a dedicated unit that takes receipt of the list. They say, okay, number one, they drive to the airport, they get on the plane, they go out to that country, they kill the person, they come back, and then they go to number two on the list. That happens every single week. Now, we can have a conversation about whether that's right or whether it's wrong. It's certainly immoral. It's illegal. But it's been tasked by the president. That's what he do, yeah. Every week is insane. They will tell you there hasn't been another 9/11, has there? Maybe it's because we're out there killing people.
Hello?
What kind of people would be on that list?
Oh, the most dangerous terrorists in the world. or at least people that the CIA deems to be the most dangerous.
Yeah, I'm about to say, yeah, amend that. There you go.
How does the CIA recruit spies in foreign countries? That cuts right to the very heart of what the CIA is. The CIA trains its officers in something called the asset acquisition cycle. It has 4 steps: spot, assess, develop, recruit. So let's say you're a brand new CIA officer overseas. You get out there and mingle and go to diplomatic cocktail parties or go anywhere where there might be a viable target for you.
Right.
You spot the target, you go up. Hi, how are you? I'm the new officer at the American Embassy. I'm covering political affairs or economic affairs or trade or whatever it is you're doing. You exchange business cards. That's spotting. Assessing is I say, so what do you do for a living? If you tell me that you do something that I'm operationally interested in, that's my assessment of you. Then I develop you. That's actually the fun part. That is us going to lunch and going to dinner, and I spend money on you because I have literally an unlimited budget to do so, and maybe we go on vacation.
Unlimited budget?
Together, and our wives are friends, and you mention offhandedly that you like to go fishing, let's say. So I charter a boat for $4,000 and I take you deep sea fishing because you could never afford to do it on your own. And then we become best friends. And because we're best friends, I say to you, hey, would you do me a favor? Yeah, I'm sorry to ask, but you know, the Russians have this new tank, and I know that you guys have access to the plans, and I would really appreciate it if you could just make me a copy of those plans. I know that sounds kind of funny, but it would help me a lot. So, hey, thanks, I appreciate it. Give me I'll pick them up tonight.
Type shit.
Then maybe I start giving you a little bit of money, and then finally, when it comes to the recruitment, I say, I haven't been totally honest with you.
Oh, you think when you asked me for that fucking Russian tank plans that I didn't ring a fucking bell?
I'm actually a CIA officer, undercover. Are you okay with that? You're a great guy, and you're my best friend, and how about if I give you $5,000 a month, and you just answer my questions, right? That's cool, right?
Snitch for $5K, but then like other niggas gonna try and knock your ass off. You have unlimited budget, triple that. You a CIA agent, nigga. You got unlimited money, motherfucker. I'm on 500 bands a month, Cause I know that shit. I know real shit. The fuck?
And you undoubtedly will say yes, and the rest is history.
Not for 5 bands.
Got to be a good actor to do that.
Put my life on the line. Hell nah.
And a sociopath. Do you ever fear for your life?
Duh.
Not now.
I mean, furthermore, what's it called? Someone in chat said something too. He could just be bullshitting this entire fucking video. That'd be hilarious.
Over the course of my career, I did several times, and I'll give you one example.
There
were 2 active assassination attempts against me. In one, I just got lucky, and unfortunately, my next-door neighbor was killed instead. He was the British defense attaché in Athens, Brigadier General Stephen Saunders. I think about it every single day. In another, an enemy country sent one of its officers and a double agent to kill me, but we had advance warning that it was going to happen, and we were able to neutralize the threat, as they say in the movies.
This nigga live on some book. What the fuck?
But there was another experience that I had that troubled me deeply. I was serving in Pakistan at the time.
This nigga John Wick.
And I was staying in a small guest house because it was safer than a big hotel. Sure enough, the big hotel was blown up and 45 people were killed while I was living there. But I left my guest house at a different time, like I did every day, and took a different route, like I did every day, to go to work. And I noticed that a man on a motorcycle wearing a red helmet was trying very hard to stay in my blind spot. I worked 12, 14 hours, whatever it was that day, and I left, and it was dark, and sure enough, there he was again. There's a definition of surveillance. It's multiple sightings at time and distance. Right. So I've seen him multiple times at different times of the day and at different places. I'm definitely under surveillance.
Right.
I got up at 5 o'clock in the morning, got in the car, drove a block, there he was again. So when I got to the office, I said to the security officer, I am under surveillance. I'm 100% sure that I'm under surveillance. He said, well, let's wait until the chief comes in. When the chief finally came in, I told him the story, and he said, well, you know what you have to do. I said, I know. I'm gonna kill him if I see him this afternoon. I was worried about it all day, and all my coworkers came up to me that day to slap me on the back and say, don't worry, we're all gonna be out there, we're gonna have a whole security team. I said, I know, but I never killed anybody before, and I'm so worried that he's gonna kill me before I get a clear shot at him. That afternoon, I had a meeting at a safe house that we shared with the local service.
This is crazy as shit.
On my way out at the end of the meeting, and I don't know why I did this, but I turned around and I said, General, are you following me? And he said, no, why? And I said, because I'm under surveillance, and if I see this guy again, I'm gonna kill him. And I never saw him again. I learned later that several of their officers were sitting around and saying, you know, that new American guy, he's such a nice guy. Nobody's that nice. I wonder if he's being nice just to try to make us drop our guard.
Hello?
And they decided to put the worst surveillance officer in their entire intelligence service on me. And if I hadn't said something that afternoon, he would be in the ground today.
Damn! Yo, this nigga life is not a life I want to live, but it is a movie. Hey, this nigga life is not one I want to live. It is a movie, bro. We can have speculation on everything this nigga says, considering it's on YouTube, CIA approved, yada, 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 but what the fuck?
UK and Europe's back. No, he doesn't.
Damn.
When we hear from journalists or political figures that Donald Trump doesn't like the Europeans, he doesn't like NATO, he doesn't like the European Union, we should take the man at his word. I don't think he does have Europe's back, or even the UK's back. When he says America first, he means America first, whatever that means.
When was this video drop, by the way? When was this video drop? 3 months ago. Shit.
In his own mind. But I don't think he cares one whit about Europe. Which film or TV series portrays spy work the most accurately?
Question.
Great question. I will tell you that at the CIA, we watch every single spy movie and spy series. All of us do.
Yeah, they got green like that shit. Hey, that shit getting too close.
Proud to say that I have been the script advisor on
that shit getting too close
The
now.
Bourne Ultimatum, on Kill the Messenger, on True Lies, and on Burn Notice. We love this kind of thing. Most of them have nothing whatsoever to do with the reality of the CIA, except a couple. In terms of TV, Homeland, wow, they got it right. The only thing that they got wrong was if you go crazy, they send you to the hospital until you're not crazy anymore.
Ow.
In movies, there was a movie that came out in 2004 called The Recruit. The first half of the movie, where the lead character is going through training, 100% accurate, except for one minor difference. They didn't beat us in training. Everything else that he went through, whew, we went through it in spades. Most other movies, stinkers. And listen, just as a general rule, if somebody calls the CIA the company, turn it off.
Damn.
Is social media the biggest intelligence gathering tool today? It is absolutely one of them, yes.
Has to be.
You know, I was always amazed when I was at the CIA at how targets, legitimate intelligence targets, would literally put their entire lives on LinkedIn and Facebook. Incredible. You don't even have to do any research. They lay it all out right there on the screen for you. So the answer is yes. If you value your privacy, if you don't want to pop up on the radar, you have to stay away from social media. What was 9/11?
Well, I'm cooked. I'm cooked. But so are y'all, bruh. Trust me, just because I'm a streamer don't mean that you niggas in the chat are safe. You niggas in the comment section are safe. You know what I'm saying? Any nigga that has the ability to watch this video right now, you cooked too, little nigga.
11's impact on the world.
I mean, that's like a history.
I was in the CIA's
thing more than
headquarters
CIA,
on the
but-
morning of 9/11. Well, we knew we were at war. And one of the first thoughts that I had that morning was, does Osama bin Laden have any idea what he's done? Does he have any idea how many people are going to die? We all knew what the American response was going to be. It was going to be merciless. The question is, what merciless. Was 9/11's impact on the world? It was dramatic and lasting. We're almost 24 years after the 9/11 attacks, and we still can't go through airports with our shoes on. Untold trillions of dollars have been spent on counterterrorism and defense, and that is probably never going to change.
Type shit.
Why are there so many wars in 2025? Well, do you
Niggas
want my
don't know
real
how to
answer
act.
or do you want my diplomatic answer? My real answer is the U.S. has a defense budget that is bigger than the next 8 largest countries combined.
Oh.
After 9/11, the U.S. entered into something like a permanent wartime economy, where if we didn't have a war to fight and to finance, we would actually go into recession.
Yeah.
Now, we see ourselves as...
Yeah, by the way, the answer is money. I'm not going to get too political because, you know, type shit things of those natures. I don't really want to draw that crowd to my platform, respectfully. But, yeah, the answer is fucking money.
World's peacekeepers. In many cases, we're not.
Anytime something doesn't make that much sense, it's fucking money,
we're not wanted or welcome, and we end up forgetting to leave. There's an old joke inside the CIA about Iran. Like, why would Iran put its country right in the middle of all of our military bases? There you have it. Why are there so many wars? It's because the U.S. has an activist foreign policy, and sometimes we make
why are you watching this? Because I want
friends on the wrong side of issues.
Video.
Can the CIA make someone disappear without a trace? You bet they can. And they
Yeah, what the fuck? Yeah, without a doubt. Without a fucking doubt. Absolutely.
Time. In the immediate aftermath of the 9/11 attacks, the CIA created, for example, an archipelago of secret prisons.
Them niggas
would
have like
disappear people. We would capture people in Al-Qaeda safe houses, for example, let's say in
I'm about to say,
Afghanistan.
All they got to do, get you, anybody that love you, anybody that contacted you recently, anyone that does try to contact you, got to go too. Yeah, hell yeah.
And we would ship them off to these secret prisons. And when I say secret prisons, I mean in many cases they were so secret that even the presidents and prime ministers of the countries where the prisons were based didn't know that there were secret CIA prisons in their countries. So the CIA can make people disappear in that respect. They can kill people and just bury them, in some crazy foreign land and nobody would ever know. But if you're a CIA officer, or better yet, let's say you're a KGB officer and you want to defect, the CIA will give you a completely new identity, more money than you can ever count.
I'm about to say, they got TV shows doing shit like these.
Under the name John Smith, and nobody would be the wiser.
Sound like some snowfall shit.
How does the USA track terrorist threats? They use something called the terrorist matrix. It's also called all-source intelligence. Believe it or not, members of terrorist groups actually give press interviews.
Epstein's still alive. Chat, what is like the craziest thing that you think is like not now on some shit like aliens are real, or because I do think some shit's in that water, but what's like something that you just like full blown believe, like your tinfoil hat type shit going on in terms of just the world? Like, do you think Tupac's out there chilling, or do you think that niggas is cloned? Like what's some shit that you believe?
Telegraph what they're going to do in their next attack. That's one way. The media. Electronic surveillance. It could be intercepting cell phones, intercepting emails, intercepting encoded messages, even intercepting messages from game platforms. We have satellites that track these things. We have spies providing what's called HUMINT, short for human intelligence. So you use literally every source at your dispense and put this matrix together to try to disrupt that next attack. Can you be a spy and have a moral compass?
No.
What a great question that is.
You can have one, but you're going to have to work against that motherfucker all the time.
I'm going to say yes because I had a moral compass. It cost me my freedom. It cost me my job. It cost me my family.
Yeah.
But it was worth it. There are some things that you are tasked to do.
Oh wait, no, I said that. I said that wrong. Yeah, no, pardon me.
A counterintelligence.
I had to break down what he said.
You just have
for a
to
second,
say
I was
no
like, damn.
There are some things that are so immoral, so unethical, in many cases so illegal, that you just should not do it. What is the most controversial thing you've worked on or heard about? It has to be the torture program. I went to prison for...
Yeah, see, this is one of the things, hey, respect, gang, you probably ain't saying the actual answer, but you're going to say the answer that you don't think niggas is going to tweak about. So proceed.
23 months for going public with
we will
the
take
CIA's
over the
torture
moon.
program. I went on ABC News in the United States in December of 2007, and I said three things. I said the CIA was torturing its prisoners. I said that torture was official U.S. government policy. And I said that the policy had been personally approved by the president himself. The FBI investigated me. They determined I had not committed a crime. Then Barack Obama became president. They secretly reopened the case against me. I was indicted and charged with 5 felonies, including 3 counts of espionage for giving this interview. Remember, espionage can be a death penalty charge. I had 3 of them.
Jesus.
Well, I hadn't committed espionage, and finally they dropped those charges, but I ended up taking a plea to a lesser charge just to make this thing go away. I had 5 kids at home. I had gone bankrupt from the legal expenses.
It'd be like, nigga, you would think the people that do this don't have like OD family and shit, but like anytime it's, whether it's in a movie or in real life, it'd be the niggas with like a family of 5, family of 4, not even a girlfriend, but like wife, kids, what moms they live nearby, all that extra shit, bro. I'd be like, damn, bro, you working a job like this with a family, my nigga?
45
I don't know
years
how
in
you
prison.
can do it.
They offered me 23 months, and I took the deal. But I would do it again today if I had to, because somebody had to stand up and say that this was wrong.
Sociopathic tendencies.
Shouldn't torture be legal if we are protecting American lives? Absolutely not. Not under any circumstances. Torture doesn't work. Torture is illegal internationally. It is immoral. And you end up making a recruitment video, essentially, for your greatest enemies. For example, when it became apparent that the U.S. was torturing military prisoners at Abu Ghraib prison in Iraq, and video was leaked showing those prisoners in orange jumpsuits.
Type shit.
ISIS
Chat.
bought orange jumpsuits.
Never mind, I'm gonna ask you after you go.
And made its kidnapping victims, who were mostly aid workers and American journalists, wear orange jumpsuits, and then beheaded them on camera. They did that only because the U.S. was torturing its prisoners. So torture does not work.
Yeah.
Torture is illegal, it is immoral, it is unethical, and no one should be in the business of doing it.
Yeah.
What's the most dangerous?
Yeah, I'm not necessarily for torture. If you are, power to you. Again, I don't want to draw that kind of crowd over here consistently. But hey, man, where y'all lie, chat? Let me know your thoughts on that one. That's more like one of those up in the air, you know, 2 sides that will never see the same side kind of argument. So pick your poison. Some people that makes or break your entire personality and IQ, and that's unfortunate.
Also a good question. There are several.
Most dangerous country in the world right now? Ooh, I don't have an answer. Yeah, I won't act like I'm educated enough to have that answer.
And I've been to all of them. I never got to go to the nice places.
Do what you
I went
gotta
to
do.
72 countries with the CIA, and almost all of them were just awful. Some of the most dangerous places in the world.
Yeah, the torture thing's up in the air. All right, let's go hear what he says. Because, yeah, sometimes you got to get information with it, and it's like the way that you had to go. I'm too much of a softie for the CIA. That's the problem.
Now,
all right, here we go.
Also a good question. There are several. And I've been to all of them. I never got to go to the nice places. I went to 72 countries with the CIA, and almost all of them were just awful.
Okay.
Some of the most dangerous places in the world are Yemen, Somalia, Gaza, Afghanistan, parts of Pakistan. You have to sleep with one eye open. You just never know how bad things are going to get. And I'll give you an example. I went to Yemen 5 times. And every time I went, it was worse than the previous time.
Damn.
The 5th and final time that I went, we were only allowed to stay at one hotel.
So the Middle East,
the hotel had a
low-key describe
30-foot-high wall around it to protect it from bomb blasts. You couldn't stay in any of the other hotels by then. Well, the day after I arrived, a group of South Korean diplomats arrived. And on the drive from the airport to the hotel, they were ambushed, and they were all killed, 6 of them. A couple of days later, a group of South Korean intelligence officers arrived to investigate the murder of the 6 diplomats. And they were ambushed, and they were murdered. And so the South Koreans just closed their embassy and went home.
Tough.
That's a pretty dangerous country.
Yeah, you made a damn good case for you. Yeah, you made a damn good case for them. I wouldn't be educated enough to, that's not even me like necessarily playing it safe. I genuinely wouldn't know what my stance would be. I don't want to just seem like prejudice or just believing a stereotype and saying, oh, it's, I don't know, someplace in the Middle East, even though he did name like 3 countries from there.
What do you make of
yeah,
U.S. foreign policy right now? A complete and utter disaster. I've never seen an administration that works so hard to offend and alienate our friends.
Yeah.
Threatening to invade Canada? That's an act of war. Canada is not just a NATO country, but it's a Five Eyes country. Five Eyes being the US, the UK, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand, the closest alliance in the entire world. And what, we're going to send an army to Canada and overthrow them?
Whole ass mean, bro,
doesn't make any
facts.
sense.
Like invading Canada or moving to Canada when your presidential elect doesn't win. These shit were like jokes. That's a reality. like what the fuck? Like niggas favorite president doesn't win, or they lose a certain election. They be like, well, I'm going to live to Canada. That shit's been going on for years. Let alone, you know what, man? I fucking hate Canada. Let's go to war with Canada. Like that joke. That's not a fucking joke no more. But like that shit has been a thing for years. It's crazy what the reality we actually live in now.
Would you even joke like that out loud?
Yeah.
We don't coordinate with our European allies. We're threatening to invade Panama, to take the Panama Canal. We're threatening to invade and annex Greenland. It's craziness. So I'm not a big supporter of U.S. foreign policy right now. Does China actually pose a real risk to the West? I think no.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why.
Talk to me. He's
China
obviously biased.
Simply does not have.
Yeah, I mean, everyone will. They're asking for his opinion, Twin. Yeah, everybody will be biased.
Have a history.
Everybody, if I ask y'all a question, you're going to be biased. I'm asking your genuine opinion.
Expansionism.
Everybody's going to be biased. It's an opinion.
If you put aside Tibet, which the Chinese have always claimed to be a part of China.
Yeah, I'm about to say, he
Chinese
also does live here.
invaded another country. They had a little border skirmish with the Vietnamese in the 1970s. They had a little border skirmish against India in the 1960s. But they don't invade countries. And they have only one military base outside of China. It's in Djibouti, and believe it or not, they share it with the United States. It's the U.S. that sees China as the big threat, and Australia and the Philippines kind of see China as a threat. But the Chinese are perplexed as to why we so distrust them. Is there a threat from China to Taiwan? Of course there is. Okay. Taiwan is also seen by the Chinese as being a legitimate part of China, but there's no indication that the Chinese are preparing any offensive measures against Taiwan. I just don't see what the big threat is. Is the CIA or MI6 more elite?
MI6?
MI6 is an absolutely top-tier, first-rate service, but it's like comparing apples and oranges.
Talk to me.
At the CIA, we used to say how much we wished we could be like
British,
MI6.
thank you. I'm about to say, yeah, chat, some of this shit is just educational for me. So that's why I'm like, this video, editor sent this to me. Hopefully we don't draw the wrong crowd, LOL. But that's my main concern. I don't want the fucking L crowd here. I hope the people that watch this agree or disagree with the guy. We kind of just sit there, listen to some CIA stories. He's listening to the CIA guy, answer some questions, move the fuck on. That's my hope and goal with this. Being said, I actually like shit like this. I'm like really intrigued. But yeah, I didn't know that. So I have no idea.
Because MI6 is small.
I genuinely have no idea. I have no idea.
And when they decide to do something, by God, they go out and do it. At the CIA, when we decide to do something, we have 6 layers of bureaucracy that we have to go through to finally get permission.
Type shit.
And then the attorneys get involved, and then you have to send it to the president, and then he has to sign it or change it or reject it or do whatever it is he has to do. They don't have that kind of a problem at MI6. They just report directly to the prime minister, and they can get things done. The CIA has a budget that absolutely dwarfs the MI6 budget, and we have our own, high-level technology budget, satellites and spy planes and all kinds of crazy things. So they're both great services, but they're different at the same time. Are sleeper agents real? Yes, they are.
Yeah.
And the country that is the best at using sleeper agents is Russia. The United States doesn't have
they're like the stereotyped ones. That's crazy.
a program of sleeper agents.
They're
And I'm
like
frankly
always
unaware of
the
any
sleeper
Western
agents in
intelligence
Russia
service
with
that has
the movies and
sleeper
shit.
agents
That's
or that
crazy.
uses sleeper agents. The Russians have an
thought he was
army
gonna have a
of sleeper
surprise.
agents. In fact, just in the last 2 or 3 years, a group of Russian sleeper agents in Northern Virginia, including one in my neighborhood, were disrupted and arrested.
Yeah.
So what a sleeper agent is somebody who is trained as an intelligence officer, who is then sent to the United States or the UK or Brazil or Paris or wherever, and told to just get a job, any job, and be a national of that country.
Type shit.
And so you've got people who...
QQ Bang, appreciate you a prime.
Recently,
Yo, that took me back to Xeno, bro. I played Xenoverse 2 at some point.
one was an elementary
Before Xeno
school
3
teacher,
drop, I'm a believer.
and one worked for an airline. Everybody thought they were Americans, and in fact, they're collecting classified information, mostly from U.S. defense contractors, and secretly transmitting it back to Russian intelligence in the evenings. They were disrupted and expelled from the United States. Is chief of disguise a real job? You bet it is. They have
a lot of
the
this
most
stuff is
fun.
just like, I've heard these things too much for it to not be based off of something real. That's kind of why these questions are a little funny sometimes. Because it's like, okay, well, some movie had to be making some shit up. And this guy is sitting there like, "Wait, this is definitely real. Like, you can Google that, buddy."
in the world. On the day that I got hired,
you're like, this is public. And that's what I'm saying.
I was sitting with 2 other brand new
You can
officers.
Google some of this
and
shit.
I sat down. I said, "Hi, my name's John."
But I mean, I honestly, at this point in the video, I'm not too pissed at some of the, I guess, stupid questions, because ultimately you want to hear it from damn near a primary source, if not a literal primary source, LOL, that, yeah, it's real. Or, yeah, no, this is bullshit. Or this is overrated type stuff.
It's nice to meet you both.
I guess I
They
can see
said,
the appeal to that.
What are you going to do here at the agency? I said, I'm going to be an intelligence officer. I have degrees in Middle Eastern studies. What are you guys going to do? The woman said to me, "Oh, I just graduated from the Falls Church, Virginia Academy of Beauty." Academy of Beauty. She ended
Yeah,
up
exactly
becoming
what
a
one of my
master
moms just said.
disguise
Or you
maker.
just think it's fake. So,
And the guy
fair.
on my left was a cartoonist for his college newspaper. He drew a little cartoon that was very popular. He became a master forger. So it doesn't really matter what your background is. If you're good at it, there's a place for you at the CIA. And many of those places are working for the director of disguise. What made you decide to blow the whistle? It's very
Yeah,
brave.
so
Thank you.
yeah. One of y'all said he was like a whistleblower or some shit. Yeah, and I ain't gonna lie, don't know the terminology.
You know,
Don't know the terminology. Don't know his backstory, significance, anything like that.
at the CIA, we are trained to believe that everything in life is a shade of gray. And that is just simply not true. Some things are black and white. They're right or wrong. And the United States has
Public
laws
snitching. Oh,
that ban torture. We have the Federal
Shit.
Torture Act of 1946. We are not just signatories to the United Nations Convention Against Torture. We wrote the United Nations Convention
I didn't hear that
Against
term
Torture.
before. Shit.
In 1946, the United States executed Japanese soldiers who waterboarded American POWs. In 1968, an American soldier waterboarded a North Vietnamese prisoner and was given 20 years at hard labor in a military prison after being convicted of torture. The law never changed. So how is it then that from 2002 to 2005, torture was somehow magically legal? It wasn't legal.
Oh, so that's okay. Now everything's connecting. That's why he was really against it, because he has like a personal tie. Okay, okay. Now I was gonna say, because he was definitely the most animated on that question, significantly. And granted, that was probably the most like divisive, one side, the other. Like there is no like, nigga, you have a yes or no type thing. So it was the most divisive question. So fair. But I was like, yeah, he got strangely turned up from just answering common questions, confirming theories, and all this other stuff to, okay, yes or no, my nigga. Okay, so now this all makes sense.
We were committing
then
crimes
now this
against
all makes
humanity.
sense. Okay, I didn't know
And
who he
so it
was,
was
so
something that
apologies if I was L-reacting this whole time.
Having known the
If this goes
details,
on the
I
video,
couldn't
if this
sleep
goes,
at night.
if this goes to the channel, if the editors look at this and like, yeah, fuck it, upload it. Yeah, my bad. Genuinely my bad. Okay, so now I understand why the guy even earlier was like, why are you watching this video if you don't want to draw that? Okay, now everything makes sense. Granted, I waited till the end of the fucking video to get it, but it is what it is. Slow, but not, I guess, entirely stupid on my end.
And I believed, and in retrospect, I was
Now
right.
everything makes sense.
That
Okay.
the American people had a right to know what their government was doing in their name. And I'm proud to say that because of my revelations, the McCain-Feinstein Amendment was passed into law, and it formally and permanently banned torture.
Have you investigated any of us before this shoot?
Type shit. That was still a fun video. I'm not gonna lie. Hopefully, no weirdos get attracted to this comment section because I don't even think this is too divisive of a fucking video. It's more theoretical than anything. I actually liked it. Furthermore, I'm with this guy. If he's telling us this, I can't imagine what kind of shit they're actually doing and or hiding type stuff. Yeah, like if this is what we're being told, oh man, I want to know what he still can't say, or I want to know what things he could just be fucking lying. Like, this is kind of crazy. Let's find out how you guys respond to it. Hopefully you guys like this kind of content. Hopefully you guys are mature enough to continue liking these kind of content. But until then, take care, stay blessed. Am I spying on you? Vote!